bring you this program every second Friday of the month with an important topic affecting marriages and families, and look at how to deal with it. The purpose of this program is to serve as part of our church's contribution to the society by educating both married couples and unmarried couples on issues affecting marriage life. You can follow us on our social media handles, Facebook, YouTube, rpkdmmc. Today, our topic is Christian parenting. We want to look at Christian parenting. The aim of a Christian parent is to guide, teach, train, and let their children know God in the early stages of their lives, to grow in the saving faith of our Lord Jesus Christ, and to set them on the path of maturity. Children are the gifts of God and must be taken care of. With me here are very important personalities. They will help us to digest the topic very well. I have with me here Mama Mercy Enchi. She's a marriage counselor, a mother. She has adult children. She's here to help us. And then I have we have Dr. N.O. Mensah-Taki, a marriage counselor, a motivational speaker, a musician. Who are we talking about?
I can I Christian for.
Okay. You know where Christian for. One.
I can what's an worker. Say a Christian for. Let a razor Adam here, Mofra. That Mofra, the rest I made the answer one other. Why I has it? So that she rather be saying one was some. It's not a hand as Saturday, the Yasham of Friday. That's it to one when you mean. More when you're me, oh, left and right. I'm out, we hasn't found one. As you when you're me, it's when I shall say, when you're not, was a bob or bra. Obviously, that way when you're me, and you obey devotion. No,
okay. Mr. Doctor, forgive me. Now, Mr. Your doctor.
Oh, yes, Mr. is okay.
Mr. is okay. Okay, doctor, so you can add up to it.
When we talk about Christian parents, it means we are looking at parents that in all they do, it's about Christ first, Christ-centered, ensuring that the children also understand what they are doing because the children came to meet them. Parents are more or less teachers, just that we don't call them teachers, but we are teachers. So before the children came, you were having a particular lifestyle. And so if you have children now, the children must see that lifestyle so they can also learn from. So it means that the kind of life you are living is Christ-centered, that they can actually copy from it. That life must have influence on the children. And so if you are not living that, then we can't say you are Christian parents. Okay? So we must see Christ in almost everything that you do so that the children can easily copy that lifestyle.
Okay. So, Mama Ifya, what does the Bible say about Christian parenting?
There are several texts that might come to mind. For instance, the Bible tells us that we should train the child in the way that he should go, and that we will not depart from it. The Bible tells us not to withhold discipline from the child. That's one of the things that Ukraine Susan say. "Yana me ba beboa." It's a one kasa for Bible. Can Proverbs chapter 23, verse 13 and 14. Was it Ubrona Womu? To make kind reason Ubrona Womu, I say, maybe I will say there, those kind of things. The Bible tells us these things. Parents, do not frustrate your children, but direct them in the things of the Lord. Parents, children, obey your parents in the Lord. But you know, we always remember the children obey your parents in the Lord. But we do not remember, do not frustrate your children or do not upset your children. But I think the best text is not to frustrate your children. So those are some of the texts that readily come to mind.
Okay, thank you very much. So what role should parents and Christians play in a child's life?
Yes, a good example.
Okay.
Na mo friend bo hu de. Yanka say e bo bra offer Christ. Na obo hu Christ when you know nti anyo anka say obeti.
Okay.
Obehwe yan so na we asua hen. Na say anya dam na yere ka asam na chewo na wo hu wo hen mu a. Won fe yan adwuma. Es wo hu de ma me dam na ote. Nti so o ka dam ma me ye dam a no no ye. Si ode so ye. Oye ne dano afaka ka be ku san papa de. Papa, mami bi so. They were Christ ebien wo Bible man na no person e korpie. Also, e mam dem mama ne ze oye ebie. Because ya kwacha from what here no. Ya ba mama onye dam. O say our from mother wukun ben wiaze love your children. And so mommy steals your money.
Oh.
Mommy pick money from your pocket. Mommy doesn't pray. Mommy doesn't love you. And mommy doesn't love me. So I think there are two Jesus in the Bible. Different mommies Christ and different the church Christ. About questions, oh, Daddy, Christ no your croquet. It's not fra, my men will marry you no. Oh, see, as soon as I said, you know, there, also let your light so shine before, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. See, what do you mean, my friend won't be here? And yet, since I can simply worship, that way, may I hear the man? One fact.
Okay. Dog, so what role, parents and then the church, what role should we do to raise the kids?
Okay, I would start with the parents.
Okay.
Most of the time when we have this opportunity to talk about parenting, we focus more on the children and then we leave the parents. But you realize that 90% of the problem is from the parents. How? When the parent was being brought up in the early stages, he or she did not allow herself to be trained by his or her parents. And so Bible says that train up a child. So that means that there's somebody who is supposed to be doing some training. And that person who is supposed to be doing the training is the child that was then a child becoming a parent now.
Okay.
So the question is, how then do you train the child that you have now?
Okay.
If you are not able to allow yourself or your parents to train you.
Okay.
Most ladies will leave the house because their parents are trying to, they don't have their freedom. They want to get married and leave the house, or the guys, they can just leave. But for the ladies, know that the only way you can leave is to get married and leave. But the question is, when you leave and you give birth, how are you going to train that child?
Okay.
So when it comes to situations like this, I think that we should go back and then as a parent, go back. You know some of the things that your parents, as you are old now, there were things that your parents talked to you about, you never listened. Now, today in your life, you can feel them, you can see them. You can see that they're actually hitting you hard. Go back and correct them. Now, sit the child down and let the child know that these are the challenges, and very soon you'll be there also. Okay? So if you're not able to play this role, even if you come to church, they can quote all the scriptures for you. nothing will happen to yourself. Because if you need change, it must start from yourself.
Okay.
So if as a parent, you feel there's a need for change, we need to start with yourself. Years ago, you didn't give up yourself for the training. Now is the time you can start somewhere. If you're able to change yourself, it will be easier to help the child. If you're not able to change yourself, there's no way you can help your child.
Yeah.
It can never be possible. So if you ask this question, I will say that where we are now, we are parents. We are having challenges here and there trying to bring up our children. Where we are now, we are not there yet. We will definitely get there. Let's go back. Check some of the things that you are experiencing now that daddy and mommy back in the days were talking to you about, you never listen. Work on them, because if you're able to work on them, even if you don't teach the child will copy from you, but they are copying from their parents.
Yeah.
So if you should ask this question, I mean, that's what I can add to that.
Okay, thank you very much. Mama Efia, so what can the church do? Sunday school now, yeah.
Sunday school na yepa. I would really recommend Sunday school. When I was childless for many years. So people might think that the first thing I would do would be to cling to my children. I want to be with them all the time. When they are much younger, I have never seen any of my children cry because they are going to Sunday school, because it is not even an option you can exercise. Until time I may back coming home, I was already there. Anytime all your exclusive breastfeeding. To say Yakupon ya abdomina 6 months and so. Na ye di koko e she oba adu na ye we free me channel for Sunday school. So that's how we started. All of them.
Okay.
They started Sunday school from 6 months. So they realized that now between Sunday school and Timothy class, the content is a lot. Now you might think it doesn't matter. I have other relatives Oma and Sunday school, because their parents would say, so but I do say Bible studies. If you know, I say, do you remember the story of the Gibeonites and how they deceived Joshua? They don't remember. Do you remember how Saul offered the sacrifice and the Lord said, obedience is better than sacrifice, and to hearken better than the fat of rams? They don't remember. Because it was Sunday school. By the time I started first Sunday school, I shall say Timothy, now Bible what can be signed? What can be signed? So I would recommend Sunday school. Okay. And also, Kolana ko Sunday school in Tem. No one Methodist in Muntemo. Like if they don't really get the joy of our Methodism. Naso ne nemua no di Korea SHS dia. Na nkrofo be wia won. O find any takile no Genova. O find the Methodist in Ojibo. Bear wonder. But the truth is that we are losing our children to other denominations, because it is like an acquired taste. Who needs salad did not near the mawa because that's how it is. Intino say ya fancy or man omunya ombeko. Now while I'm dealing with this, let's also see the other side.
Okay.
We the parents called Methodists, they be American. Because we do things which makes the church unattractive. If the subaina yediti fie no, yenye bibia to say ye share Jesus. Oh baby nipa nyina aboro ye brubi. Sebio nipa nyina abo adwaman so ya gye World Cup ye bobi. De ye bia nipa wiasefo ye bia ye bi. So when the children grow up and they go to school, they go to SU and they come to know the Lord, because they did not get to know the Lord from home. Methodist for so many Christopher. You get the difference.
Yes.
Methodist for so many Christopher. Ti omo kwa baby omo be ho Christo no
no maka ho na no na ya se obi begina baabi aka se kane na me Methodist na me nim se adwaman ye bone no if you say ye won say ya nkyere yen pamocho for the record wo bia wo ha Methodist fu pamocho adwaman ye bone why hallelujah yes so ye no one why we the people called Methodists, we don't sell alcohol, we don't brew alcohol, we don't drink alcohol Wesley Bukunum, but those things that we do and also can. But as parents, like Dr. Taki said, the children learn far more by observation than what we actually tell them. And chance
but a binum so oba on person ne ba no be Sunday school. On person ne ba no be fa entity na ye de e manimu. Nti bring ne there you know be ka so me ba ne de on person Sunday school. Into on tina maintain. Mommy what you say? And that one what can we do? Because it's like I want my child to be with me than to go there. But probably they are not handling them well or something.
But in a lot of even our charismatic congregations, it's not an option. It is not an option. Akwalano obedru wano na ye de tofishi ana de nako. Ebi MCM pet of ibintwe. But obedru wano no oko. It's not an option.
Okay.
And the parents should also let the children know it is not an option. Mama wa ba sorry na akwala sha wo. Hwe ho mete wo. Akwala no so somehow when they go to Sunday school they behave. But owo wo nchen a ehon na ne team de ni nyina ebeba. It's not an option. It's a so-called. It's a so-called. And then they will learn. But I have also seen that certain things work. When they are really young, I give them children's Bibles, which are illustrated. And then as they grow older, I give them beautiful Bibles. Like, Oko Challenge, I won't say, me money your man, so I give them beautiful, ladylike Bibles. Buy beautiful notebooks. I don't know or notes. That kind of thing which is supposed to encourage them to go. Sorry. Obie yinata de kofa shoe bra na menhwe upempekura meka se combine ni na nante na mehwe wonante na ye nchiachia or something. They look forward to church.
Okay.
They look forward to it. And those things also help.
Okay.
That they can leave and go to church and come back. And then when they come, encourage them to make friends with people here so that they also have their own circles.
Yeah.
While at the same time paying attention to what they are doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doug, want to add?
Yes, I want to add something to what she just said. You see that the children don't know anything. That's why I said you should train the child. Because the child doesn't know anything. We are to do the teaching.
Okay.
She is fortunate to start Sunday school. We have a lot of members in Methodist. They never joined Sunday school. They just joined church.
Yeah.
And they became members of Methodist.
Yeah.
Some just joined through maybe Boys Brigade, Susanna Wesley, Guild, and then they became members of the church.
Yeah.
So, as I said earlier, they've not received that training. You see, it's not in their genes that they have to come to church, Sunday school. They themselves, when they were young. So now that they are old, they don't see why the child must go to Sunday school.
Okay.
Because they never experienced it. They didn't see anything in Sunday school up to date. So when she brings the child to church, child Sunday school can be there. They will also be someone.
Okay.
But until the parent who wants to grow, who wants to learn, who needs a change in her life or his life, and then also ensure that the family is enjoying that kind of Christ-like, blessing in the family, would have to do something about it. Because you can't say you're a parent, you want your family to be Christ-like, and you bring them to church and you don't talk about Sunday school. You go home, you don't talk about anything. This thing even happens in our schools. We take the children to school and we leave them in the school. They close, they come home. We don't know what went on in school. We don't find out what goes on in school. It's not their fault. It's because from day one, when these things were being done on their behalf, they didn't accept it. You see, so until the individual comes to that realization and says that no, my family I want them to be like this, then you have to start working on yourself.
Okay.
Then the children will also be blessed.
Then the
if not, then
okay, then the children. Aunt Mercy, what are some of the challenges in raising a godly child? You understand it, yes. What are some of the challenges? Because in our time, no, baby, ebeka de yo wonyamisro so na nyamisro biara enyimu bibi na okeka bibi mo ye bibi
the ehwende mofama wa bana onam television,
okay,
onam phone mana won suba no asesa won se de nka no mofre no
ye de
eka mebeka no befa.
Oh, okay.
Eka do onda ha obeda ha me kwa chapel me bezi mechi me nyu oroko in the eka mama ko meba because if you nkita car nti mama ko na me ka da mi so no because me kwa chapel me be hinara me nyu na me nyu no ko opera me nyu na me nyu no ba ana pa ye ya so we abi me ka da nchuwa no ye 10 years no wa me ho no bi be da bo hwehwam no bi so na nchuwa wo ma me wo he osa ekwa na so nyi kitchen a wo ho so nyi ho so no hye dem ro bompe o hye dem ro bompe so we hu na wo bompe tem biara no wo say we nyi me ncha ne pia na me so me nya me time is bompe nti bi wo ho a ebe na nya na bompe enche ne yame enye nche wan church and bible there we can office school ba in this school ho be office Sunday school in this and ho hwe nti na na bo na bra ma ope but em wo nyo kwa abofo no ho na rebi san ekọ school Sunday school abet test na we I tell some phone woman chame ko mi say dem ko na be test so say bi we efi no be say dem men kai dem say kai dem ya a devotion na papa we fio no no do mi bi na be devotion na bi so ho na he say men kai so that send we Bible na chiro when bi o nsa na nkaka no say abra na nka so won na che say say ya member so the when you be
okay. Or when you are built, nature one more. Yeah. So, Doc, there are some challenges, right, in raising a godly child.
In this age of time, there's a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
The thing is that the Bible says that in the last days, knowledge shall abound.
Yes.
And so there's knowledge everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you're a parent in this 21st century and you've decided not to develop yourself, personal development, to update yourself, make sure you are current. Your children, you'll not be able to handle them because they know too much. In my notes, I wrote that the child and the internet, now they're exposed to the internet, so if you, the parent, you are not informed, you'll not be able to handle your children.
Yeah.
You'll be forced to be aggressive on them just to get their attention, and that will also turn into something else. So if, as a parent, you want to really
raise a godly child,
you have to make sure that you're learning.
Okay.
You have to learn. As you are studying scripture, study other things to make sure that whatever questions your child comes up with, you can answer the question. Because it's not like the end times where the information is not just there like it is today. You can just say anything, and then I remember at the time I was singing, bathing, I was singing, and my mom said, "Kaka Juyala," and I'm like, what? You know, I want to know what will happen. You know, if it were to be today, I'll just go online and check what, you know. But then when they tell you, just keep quiet. Yeah. You know, when you sweep, you don't collect your rubbish until next. Yeah. So, you know, but now it's not like that. So if you're a parent, I teach ICT, and sometimes you meet the children, and the kind of information they have is way beyond the topic GS has given them.
Hey.
Yeah. But when you check what GS has given them, what they are doing, GS should have, you know, but you realize that they are way ahead of their syllabus.
Yeah.
So if you're a parent and you have a child and you give your phone to, you know, these days we give our phones to them to do almost everything for us. And they are putting everything on internet now, your social security, soon they will be cashing it out for you. So if you like, don't update yourself. They'll cash your money and chop your money. You see. So if you're a parent and you want to really raise up godly children, it means that you have to be informed.
Okay.
Learn, study. Every church now is online with a lot of information.
Yeah.
I have a lady friend who is in a particular church. Recently, I've seen that she's been sending a lot of posts from a different church. So I was trying to find out if she's still with the old church or her church, but she seems not to respond. So from the way almost every day she's sending a post from the other, and she said later when I asked her, she said she's somebody who does prayers on internet, Facebook, and so she follows that pastor.
I see.
And she's promoting the pastor's, activities more than her own church.
Look at it too.
So if you have a child like this and you're not informed, so if you're a parent and you really want to ensure that you have godly children around you, then you have to update yourself so that you can be able to handle them whenever they come with any question or see any obvious behaviors, you know how to deal with them.
You know how to deal with them.
Thank you.
Mama, if you want to adapt.
Asama me beka no meka ni twi me wo question kakra bisa. Mesre, mwahu obi a wadidi ame wo fie a okwa ehwa. Okwa ehwa. O fine no ni mi wie enya no hyishi. O fine na ole mokoni ka efe to ye hye ya sisin.
Sisen.
Ya sisin. Mwahu bi da. Udidi me a okwa ehwa.
We won ko sresra de.
Omo akomde won wo fie.
Bia na person this year na ochina no.
What time akomde na e wo fie a obekwa ehwa. And it's the same for Bible, for anything. So uma oba na nika nyame asem ho a na nika. Other things don't get they don't get that attracted to it. So the main challenge for me is time.
Okay.
And cry how much in the Ukraine. Maybe I had a man because I bring me to tutu. Mukrum what's an day.
Accra is live by plan.
I tell you. So living in Accra and having time for study and all those things, and your plan, like Mama Kano. So you need to have time. Because the children must get the word from home.
Yeah.
Because there are so many theologies and doctrines going round that they must be certain from home. Timidie, me share me time and me boy me home no, and you may not be devotion share. Because I know never boy me. An opane dear, Americana ye day con, and you may, and I'm a dish. And I would recommend it, but they must get the word from home. I have learned a lot from other people. One of the people that I may say, Grandma, they may boni din be my mother-in-law. Me ko ni fie no. No mu fie ni me bo wa sa na omote. Me ware ma ye bi. Me fie kwesi ada no pa ye nidi. Wo ye hwan me security a ebi ebe mriketu a ese so otu meketi. Nobody has breakfast in my home because that's what I went to meet in my mother-in-law's house. That you fast, you go to church, obo mpa ye wi a kwesi ada opon ba. Because she also never wanted to be late. Then you adjust. Personally, when I was growing up, there was this thing that some people didn't like going to church because if you are sorry, come on, I feel na mama didn't quite so. It was a problem for my brothers in particular. To me, me sorry, no pakwesi adebia. Meba no na me inquire ready rice cooker mumu to osimu. And son maba. Fufu is normally out of the question because ejuma sembebem. But by the time we come, you better pon 15 minutes. So they will not be worried that I'm sorry now or they come that kind of thing. But you try and look at your lives. As we know, one size does not fit all. Even among our children, you see that they are of such different temperaments that you don't even raise them the same. Meba maami ama ukusu a wotia no na ne nsa da aduane mu hwi ni we be ha no but second one no oye na ade boko onyaye anka ntia no ti ono otia ye tia ne nipam ni dede no ene oni di 3 days Enti wo hwe wo ma no de ye kasa boko kire na eye yie. Ni ayetia ne nipa mu eye yie de ohia abo ne ohia kakaduro. Ni nyina you look at each and every one of them. There are those that I write to. Because they are readers. So when I want to talk to them, I sit down and I write. Obey school 3-4 years in na letter no that's ukrano. It's something my mother used to do. Me, mommy, who 20 years, and I still have my mother's letters. So you look at them. The challenges are varied. One show you the approach you use for A, you will use the same approach for B. I don't know why. But you look at it, but media, one of the main things I have is to say, hey, you're having time for them. And that's the reason why I have a certain routine. Meantime, so my driver, mom, for me, bank, school, I am kofano. Because me, in your time, mom, so I prefer to take them myself, bring them back. Yeah, kono, yeah, kasa, yeah, bano, yeah, kasa. Then you may near the devotion, at least, near nyam. So let's look at how to make time for them.
You have to have a relationship with your child. So how can you, as a parent, how can you, bring that relationship?
Okay. And you are very close. I had a map. BBR, what mark BBR actual? What mark BBR neck how not to see BBR actual? Or them who don't Adam. Or them men who don't Adam. And see, I'm first run, Shenuma, Nico Biara, Bacacho. Oko outside, more Betsy, Baba Bacacho. Sanya could be the dada, or Baba Bacacho. Also advising. As I get them, my boyfriend's rower. On two can answer me, John, to Oko outside. My young Bacacho, not very age man. I bet you know Bana say.
The shadow,
Bana, since all them, my boyfriend, no, they're done. I was there, and you know, young con. And you know, no problem on your aka. Okay. My advice.
Okay. Dog, do you have, we talk in terms of relationship with our kids?
With our children. In terms of relationship with our children, we need to define it.
Okay.
Let me take the women, for example. You have a son, and then in your heart, the son is your everything. Your husband, your boyfriend, everything. But the way you treat the child would have influence on the child, because if you are treating him like a husband, it will get to a time he'll be making decisions for you.
Okay.
So if you want to have a relationship with your child, the child must understand that he's a child. Treat the child as a child. Don't treat the child as a sister or a brother, because they will lose it. And once they lose it, you have a problem. There are instances where you see a parent treating a child, I'm using a son because that's what I've witnessed. The lady treating the son as a husband. It got to a point, the guy or the boy is now trying to decide things for the mom. And because that's how he sees, the boy. He's not seeing the boy as a child. So the boy doesn't see himself learning from a mother. Wow. So that's why I'm saying that we need to define the relationship between ourselves and our children. If you don't make the child see his or herself as a child, that he's supposed to be learning, you will not get to teach him anything. So if you ask for a relationship or you ask about a relationship, I would say that all parents must define how they treat their children, so that the child will know his or her place. Now, I said earlier on that children are children. We make them what we want them to be.
Exactly.
So they don't know their limits. You define the limit for the child. So if you don't define the relationship, in some years to come, you realize that he or she is acting as what is in your heart. The Bible says that out of the abundance of the heart, so you start acting.
With this, like every parent has to have a relationship. So how do you have to go about it? Must you treat the boy or the girl as a child? that you are bringing him, or you should see him the way you are saying that, as your husband, as your friend? What way?
With the social consciousness, we know that we have to have a relationship with our children. We have to treat them. We have to be your best friend. That's what we say.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that we need to define it, because if my child is my child, I help my child to understand that he's my child. This is what you have to do. This you cannot do. If you have to do, you do it. If you don't have to do, you don't have to do it. You see, so that the child will know her place or his place. Because there are families that children don't know their place in the family. They do anything.
Yeah.
You see, and because they are doing anything, they are growing with it. So they get to a point that you can't correct them again, because that is what they've known over the years. So having a relationship with your child is not bad, it's good. But what kind of relationship do you want to have with your... Does the child recognize you as the father or the mother or the parent he or she is learning from? You see, if that is defined, it's easy. The child will do whatever he or she is asked to do.
Okay.
Now, a typical example, if you are training children or you are training people, you see, if it's adults, they know that they are adults, so they are coming to learn. But with children, they don't know who they are. When they go to school, they know they've gone to school to learn. So when it comes to the academics, do this, they will do that, do that. When you move from that and you come to maybe having a casual chat with the children, you realize that some of them know who they are talking to, others don't. Okay, so it gives you an idea of how the child is relating with the parents in the house. Some of them will be treating the teacher as a teacher, or an elderly person they are speaking to. So they show so much respect. Others is normal.
Okay.
You don't even see that they are talking to an elderly person.
Okay.
It is only when we come back to their board, they say, okay, we are going to learn this. And then you realize that they are giving that attention and that respect, that there's a teacher in front of them. But when you move from that section, they don't see you as a teacher. And where are they learning this from? From the home.
Okay.
So if the parent is not able to define that parameters for the child to know that this is your 6 o'clock, you have to sleep. You sleep. When we are doing this, you don't come there. It's not abusing or maltreating. No. They have to know that they are children. They are learning. Bible says that train up a child. Training is not enjoyable. It's enjoyable. We enjoy it. You see, they say train up a child. So the child must know when to sleep, when to wake up. It's not, if you don't have anything to do and it's time for you to, if you read a book, yes, read a book. When it's time for you to sleep, you sleep. The child must get used to that. Of course, because he's under training. That is how come when he grows or she grows, she will also emulate that same system to his or her children. You get what I'm saying? So if we don't do that, the children will grow. And when they grow, they don't know how to go about their own parenting with their children. So when it comes to having a relationship with your child, I would suggest that every parent must try as much as possible to help the child to know that, look, this is it. You are a child. You have to know this is what you have to do. That is what. Don't overlook, because you are supposed to train the child. Thank you.
Yeah.
Today's training to the olden days, what can you tell us?
Zenze, no, I am broke. Because Sabofo ye bibi nation any mumpa. Oh, a corner for that training when you there. A pedoje, obeje. Opede, oje, obeje. See, a catch up of the e green. Osma, e red, no, on your red or your green.
Okay.
Now there's some of fun a wabano. On I'm the iron cool, yeah. Na internet na ze. So I'm one life night, so once it's a year. She said, in so years. There got it sabo from I'm there. I want you and not an age. Nti me ebeka no onye za oye na ye za outside ebeka.
Okay.
I bring a one that it's over with you know, or pay a powder, which like a different thing at Chabafan. Who I know your baby to do, Papa know your baby to do. And so no, then my me, and them day. Not just what he say, above him say, and pianasa. That's all there, and one with their pianasa. One with their pianasa, and one with their pianasa. Then when they fear the best for her or him, I'm there about for some.
Okay.
And so you can't be another day, then so about for a one cacra, ne who cacra. It's an cacra, ne who cacra. But yeah, you're very strict on our friend now, oh yeah. No, oh yeah, if they are now some talk on the part of Bacano, no alpha.
The part of Bacano alpha. But the hearing you know. Not then our parents are very strict. They were strict on us. So that strictness no what can be easy no. But today's child it's no crown now opedo explain it okay. And now
and they know what to expect from who. It is because you see the children, they know us and they know what to expect from us. Like I keep saying, it's like today parents are afraid of their children. Remember, let's understand that. We love them. We are not afraid of them. They do not tell us what to do. You should be grateful. And so you should be grateful for all that you are enjoying. Because I won't give you at all. They need to be guided. For instance, my first child, when she went to school, I think she was in newspaper association, or say journalism association, or say BB without disrespecting the journalists. And we are now banning so about journalism. O di enkamani si wa o ba ye na ne me be kan wa ka kire me say your teacher says that some of the parents want to live vicariously through their children enti no e bia ma me be ka kire say koye law na am say just talk wa enko wani. Now I'll show you something. So for the whole weekend journalists are minimum lawyers omoba me say we. He's a journalist, he's a lawyer. Now the law helps you to learn how to question. Because we teach you cross-examination, it teaches you how to question. If you're a journalist or legal training or interviewer, you see a special skill. Nenua chino kai hunu say ebedru baby no. Enyu mebi wo hwa wo be hia de wa wo be self-employed. If you want to do journalism, do the law first. After that, you can do what you like. Afraid there, she thinks it's her idea. No law or do journalism. You look at them, you direct. In everything, you let them understand that you are not amenable to being questioned. And that you must. I ask them, do you think I will ever do anything out of hate? Obi ama bompa ya sre urade so mama ba. Na se mada ho me to me ye bed rest for my kids. Me da ho 9 months. Na masan your operation account na me wo mu a mo se metam. There is no way anybody can say me Nyankopon odomo chen me. Enti say ya na me tiamo and I may guide him one. I know it's the best thing. Because I compare my life to others. I wasn't fortunate. Both my parents died before I was 30. And no me who say yet you can stand on your own 2 feet. It prepares you for life. This thing that we are training our children to think. Say you better not see it's wrong. For them to be able to stand on their own 2 feet. So betumi aye juma. So ko be fear or best sing. You may not be with them all the time. And yet then I collect to me we JHS. Edu secondary school form 1. No nim se wo si adie bi ti se de ehemi ya.
Ye fa parazo nguso. Eti watena wonu mu anti maame pen. Wetumi atete ba. Ah, when you're 15 years or 16. On to mean see or no ankasa ni nioma. Maame pen wetumi atete ba. 15 years or 16. Ah, onim se fufuo no pe. So bedi no nimka. Because you must equip them with skills. Enti wan hwe ya. So for maame ba me fia wan hwe abeka se me man me mpa o masem. I make them work. Obia wona adwuma oye. I've not had a house help for over 3 years. Because me man omo ye ma house help no ba mbese. Obia ye na adwuma. Obia ni mampesie noa. Sese uhunu fufuo ka. Christ antifuo din de. You should learn these things. They should know how to deal with it. Because when we pamper them, we are not preparing them for life. And they should understand it. Some days, there was a day I jailed 2 brothers. Omo mame mani 2 no. Na omo konsa wamuno. Said ye no omo mame esia kotoa. Wesia so ni yefunumu. I felt for her that day. Me buy menidi. Ania. Obe any day. But that's the thing. And I kept thinking, you should be thinking how you would raise your kids to make them fit. Then you be feeling say sika kwa omani emradie kwa. The loss of integrity these days. To your parents na say apoba na obusa oba say me ma sika nkotobia wankasa oba no dachi oye doctor so the apo na be one crofo panio. So that's the thing. We should make the children fit. Because the world is not getting any easier.
Yeah. But say, doctor, you are IT teacher. You teach kids. So you know them. Nowadays, the kids, when you tell them to sit, they say they will not sit. Whatever you tell them, they want to do what they feel like doing. So with this, what can you say? What advice are we giving to the parents? Because it's happening. One time I went to my kids' school, and the teachers, some of them were complaining. They were like, these guys are good. These ones, they know them by their character and their behavior they put up in school. So what can we tell parents nowadays? Because it's becoming unbecoming.
In I think one of my submissions, I said that parents drop their children in the school and leave. I like teaching, and when you ask what's my hobby, I say learning is my hobby. In life, every day is a learning stage for everybody. Every day we are learning. If you say you are tired of learning, that means you are ready to die. In fact, even in the grave cry, change will catch up with you because change is constant. And so if change is constant, you have to open yourself up to learning. Now, when you go to the schools to teach the children, for me, one of the reasons why I like the children is that they help me learn patience. Because if you don't have patience, you can't survive on this planet. 2 Corinthians says that love is patient. It's not buying of gift, it's patience. If you want to understand love, you have to be patient. So, you see, for me in class, if I should have a class of kids, so let's say class 1, class 2, class 3, they are very noisy. But one of the things they like most is competition among themselves. So these days, they don't cane them. We don't cane them. But what I do is that I check my tables, and then I draw a graph on the board, put numbers, and I tell them that that's your seat, that's your seat. When you talk, I'll deduct marks. The room is quiet. If I want them to talk, I'll give them questions to discuss. So they can talk. They continue talking. As our mother was saying, she said that she ensures that she calls the shots in the house. We have some parents. Okay, let me give you this practical example. There's a teacher who is teaching preschool, okay, and has a child who cannot read and write, but she's teaching preschool. The child cannot sound but you know the sounds of the alphabet. But she's a preschool teacher. She's very good. You really want to have godlike children as your own, then you have to put your foot down, because you are the driver of that boat. You are the captain of that ship. You determine where to go. If you cannot do that, who will do that for you? Because you have to answer before. When God is questioning you, you are the one to go, and nobody is going to talk on your behalf. So if the parents, when I started, I said, if the parent doesn't come to that realization that this is what I want for my family. Because when I hear parents saying that, because you yourself are not the type who likes reading. So you don't see why you have to encourage your child to read. You're the type who does not read the Bible. So how can you get your child to? If your child does not read the Bible a whole day, a whole week, you're okay. Because you yourself, for the past 1 year, you've not read. You see. So, like I said earlier, change must start with you, the parent. If you are changing, there's no way you will change and keep it to yourself. It will affect everybody in the house. If you grew up in a family where there's discipline and you remain till you left the house, there's no way you grow up children and you not impart that onto the children. That's why I said that train up a child the way it should go. It means that there's somebody who must do the training. That person must finish his or her training. Because if you don't finish, you cannot train. Coming to church, they will train you. I tell the children, when teacher is beating you, it's good, because you have to learn how to beat when you grow up. Yes, because they keep reporting teachers. And the parents will also not come to school and ask, what exactly did the child do? They say, oh, and they are beating my child, and they beat me. But come to the school. You are paying the fees. The child came home with a report. They beat me. Come to the school. Find out what went on before the child was beaten. A child refused to do homework. They beat the child. He went home, report. Parent called phone, picked phone, called school, and they are beating my child. So that's why I took my child from the other school to this school, because they are beating my child. I don't get it, because the child is with the teacher more hours than you are with your child in the house now, because as you said, we don't have enough time. Accra, we don't have enough time. Where you live in, where your job is, by the time you get home is late. We say children should sign homework. They bring homework, it's not signed. In fact, some children are trying to sign for their parents. I've never heard something before. It's happening. You understand? So if the parent is not coming to that realization that I have a responsibility towards my family, I should be able to get them to a certain point, or then nobody can do that for you.
For you. Nobody can do. You want to say something?
Yes, on these things of ceding our responsibility to other people. We cannot cede our responsibility to other people. Those children are ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not the teacher who is responsible for training. It's not the Sunday school teacher. It's not the grandmothers. It is the parents.
Yes.
For instance, ufa ube free school no ebusane say why your homework? My homework. You ask, Pacho, okay. Udru ya udidi ya kotina ho natural. You know, there are certain things that told the show ba ebebua wankasa. My children know, say during the week, yenhwe TV. Enti program no et said denyara date rush. Me baby a bida. Because me when I was growing up, I never watched Osofu Dazi. If you say no Osofu Dazi, none time no, 8:30. And me, my bedtime was 8:30. Till the moment now you be talking points, ni be it means koda. And the end of talking points was that a numana ye de talking points end no. And no na good night ma, good night ma. It's the same thing. Ni biba sui nyina telenovela ni ade nyina me baby anhwe bi da. It's not allowed. O to me TV Friday enyumre. O to me TV Saturday enyumre. School night yenhwe TV. Reading. It's a skill and an interest every parent should cultivate. If you said the more they read, the better their speed. Patron American. And you let them get used to reading. The other time we're flying in from Kumasi. Titina yetina se na me manual lines so many no be in the book. There was this person who later I got to know was a lecturer at Tech. Or say, hey, madam, what did you mean who be at Tech? Say yetina play you 30 minutes. Mo better now then I'm moye. Me kwa me manu kura uni SHS a uni phone. It's not, and I let them know. It is not because we can't afford it, because we can. But when you SHS, pacho, then if you were the phone, yeah, then 13, only be. You get a phone when you finish SHS, and then also no, it is a function of grades. To grade now, Benyan and the bachelor or yam, and now say, you give them something to incentivize them. That's what I do. Until we are, when they are growing up, teenage for us a life, life. I keep telling them, iPhone. I keep telling them, what do you change? Now we are SHS no, not grace no banner I will shock you with spending, and then I would, because my mom did the same thing. When I'm finished, and I thought her grades were reasonably good, me and I'm doing a shopping. Me to makeup in a man phone no share a bebuan, man laptop I share a bebuan. That is how it is. So I think say you encourage, oh yeah, dear, you give a reward. One ya dear swa, debia would be first. Na se ukoteda, ubribia ope magic. But on the American, but say debia would be 10th. Now by 8th, I'll give you a reward. So that's how we work it. And then you teach them other things like savings. Say, to me, at the Wusika na me dem out 2 cedis a day. Me manominya 2 cedis a day. We scrap the mom and also 2 cedis a day. 2 cedis a day. No to me save ubi. Ne drew ni aubenya 1,000. Maybe account amount me the 1,000 pesos. Then they will learn how to save. Yes, and in so sikebie moi. No kodi. That kind of thing. Sakola wo fie na se mu pie na hu se natade no ne intestines nyina ba begu a no aka chen se atade we enimachi yet asafu yim. Some people they want to show all their heart and body parts, and I keep wondering, where are the mothers? Ebeye den na eti bi ana mebusa no ade material no de pama de no house one. Say me can say fabric now. But where are the mothers and the fathers? And because sometimes the parents too, we are not united in our program. And you know, me tiano na say dog ka say baby ya ha kola no. And sometimes they knock our heads. They do it deliberately. When busa wa there now we say on farmer no. No akoda di please. No akoka. Because on him say honum na ho ejo. Ti me catch and say massa a free na ekro. When they come and they ask you anything, ask them just one question. Have you discussed it with your mother? And tell you, have you discussed it with your man? Because they know about this, because they are really smart. But that's the best way. Like I said, they don't have to be afraid, but they should respect you in the uttermost. Because Kolani Kasa or started you know those people who went to St. Rose's, they had this thing that we all used to laugh about, that or started say ubusano question. Okay, please sister, Quran sana wajin. Asem no person or cancer open. Toya, please sister, nafe no wajin the answer no. Enti may I encourage my children to speak tree at home. To me be ubie wa noa. Nya me pesa me tifri we num. Before you say anything else, mami mpacho, and son na wajin bi beka, waka. Tisa ukana me pacho na ma. I just look at you and I ask you, are you actually talking to me? Me question me busawa no. Uni me na kasa na. Na adwin aba no so say mami mpacho. Uni me kasa no anka mpacho. And with this thing about how people behave and all, even in my court, people know what to do. They know where to. Say in teachers are any more school. Say you say teacher biya ni suban. Ye one more you omu to me kasa basa. Say no abo teacher ni ade. Any ye wo almost so you omu ni sa grono. The same thing applies to the parents. That your children know exactly where they stand with you. They know where they stand with you.
They know where they stand with you. So we will break and then ask questions. Probably you have questions that you want to ask us. So we'll give you that chance to ask. So there's a time. If you have a question, please kindly, raise your hand or something so that we call you and then you ask our able guests are here to answer you. Any? Or we should continue? Mike, please.
Thank you very much, Auntie Felicia, and thank you so much, honorable panelists. Not too long ago, I read an article, and to wit, just that grade C parents were able to raise grade A children. And now grade A children are raising grade C children. And when you read the whole account, you actually understand what the person wants to talk about. Now, our era now, it's about giving a child everything, making it possible. Today, it is fun here. Another time, it is go to the mall. Another time, we are going to visit the beach. Another time, it's like doing that. So it's like the children are more interested in those things than even the quality of training. Even parents are more interested in doing these things for children than the training that they get from home. What accounts for this? Is it because we don't have time and we think that spending time with them anytime means making them have fun all around? Or we think that we didn't get what they have today, so we have to do that for them. Like we are appeasing ourselves in them kind of thing, Well, what accounts for this?
I wanted to ask second to that, Doc. Whose idea was it to develop a concept called quality time? Whose idea was it that if you are able to convince yourself that you have given someone quality time, then quantity time is of no essence? Do you understand what I mean? Whose idea was it to bring the concept of quality time? Because people are now thinking that if you are able to give your children quality time, then if the time is small and you give them quality time, then it's okay. And it is a problem. This thing that people feel, this sense of entitlement that children have, that they think they must have everything. Personally, se media juma mau antigeti. Na se wa nye. Now you want to say refi na de chi. Na bebusa me ade. Okura wo musa mempo. Because you've not done what I deserve. Maka se kwato mata ade ma me wa nye. Say me refi na de bechi. Oh no. You will ask me for anything for a long time. There are other things that children should understand about choices. Every time they increase my children's school fees, I tell them, "Money say you have to fees, books, your lunch." I tell them that your lunch is 12 cedis a day. Me ko juma, me to board 4 cedis and cut here 1 cedi. Me who how? I tell them how much it costs to keep them. Yeah, because children should know certain things. Edu see a baby school, list na, me ye budget na, me the prices ni shemu. Na maka chere wo say sike ya mi ya mawi. Eyo people sunya ketuya. So when you go to school, now boarding school, some of the kids, they leave their things lying around. Obefi school beba no se ni nyoma nyina ayira. Hey. Ayira say otumi ja ni nyoma hata. koyi na egu form. If it's a place like a bri, na ye damp, na ya to atwene. Na ba be ka kire o say obi awia. They should learn. And apart from that, we are saying yet ding. We cannot raise our children to think say a new menina easy sir. Of course, I advocate for holidays. But for some years now, while we were building, I told my kids, abrochire tu kwan bie nim Dubai bia ma kosi se ye bete yeka kakra because as I say ye hu se bribi say but ye to me kotafo and also see where to kwan okwa ye kosra wo nanamo a and also where to kwan. So let them understand, because to be honest, we are managing to raise people who don't think very far. They don't think very far. Yako school, my children have gone to private schools. The problem I have is that when they go to these private schools, all the people around them seem to be okay. So they think that the world is okay. The world is not okay. And say I will talk to the house mistress. Me pacho me bano manejuma bathroom toilet bebia obechi no one who saw your bar. You understand what I mean? When they come back, personally, I noticed that cooking skills in the children these days is not too good because weekend so they are not cooking a lot. So my policy is we JHS now, so time now means mukasi kosi sell beko SHS. This is 4 months, 5 months now the wofia. Ubeko market, makola di omundu ho la market, osu, prison, udija, one way diani. Mommy, how am I supposed to do it? Someone am with internet so cause we tajele no bechere oye. No achere oye. Oba, then you critique, oh, and and Chinewom, Mokowom, by the time they are 18, in fact, 18 crowd, by the time they are 17, 16, they can manage. Because I have daughters, Patroni, I make a note, I say, if you have sons, your sons should grow up understanding that if they are going to marry queens like my daughters, they should be able to take care of them. Oh. But obey my own pay Juma. Osori ana wada onhuruka oncha loans onye jume bia onpraho onye she be manim se opampesi onimo noa. We raising them because kai wunu say ye mano omo time no eyi ni wiase there will be no house help and as I say mo pe house help aya amunya bi obi akọ free SHS they will have to rely on themselves. So let's prepare them for it.
Let's prepare them for it. Doc, you want to say something?
Yeah, concerning what she just said, that they raised 8-class children and they are bringing up 6. So, oh, she, no. Okay. 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 You see, we say that in the last days, knowledge shall abound. So there's knowledge. But it's not for you. You have to search for what you want. There's knowledge. There's knowledge everywhere. There's information, so much information. So much information. That those who are chasing it, they are in the house, they are making money. There's so much information. But you must know what you want. That's why I was saying, you see, what we've been saying all this while is just centered around one thing. The parent must know what they want for their family. Exactly. She has a family, she knows what she wants. You see, the system in her house. If she adopts a child and the child comes to the house, by the time she leaves, she will adapt to the system in the house. So, as a parent, we have to know what we want and where we want to get to. Okay. There's a trend. I don't know if many of you know this trend. A lot of ladies want to date. They are not ready to deal with the responsibilities that come with dating. That is number one. They want to get married. They don't want to accept the responsibility that come with marriage. True of us.
Somebody says false.
So they just want, and because most of them are online watching TikTok and all those things, they just look at the things that, and then they just want to do that. But the reality of the matter is that at the end of the day, when you put your phone off, it's you yourself and your house. You see, because there is knowledge and everybody is able to put anything anywhere based on his own understanding, you have to be able to discern to know if this one is correct or is not correct. Everybody is entitled to his opinion. So there's a lot of information about a lot of things. Like she said, quality time. Her house, there's nothing like quality time. My place, there's no quality. There's no space for quality time. If I'm not in the house, I'm working. If mommy is not in the house, you need to be doing something. I need to know your school timetable. Yes, I have to know your school timetable. I need to know the homework you've received in the entire month. I have to know. When I check the timetable and I cross-check the homework, I realize that a particular teacher is not giving homework. You see, so we have to call and find out, why are you not giving homework? Are you in a school or you're out of school? We need to know. So if you're a parent and with all this information, you are still there, just speaking from what people are saying, it's not enough. Even when you go to Corinth, they say when they finish preaching to them, they go back to the Bible to check and see whether what they heard. So if you are here now, knowledge is all over us, and we tell you and then you just walk away and then you just go and then you are not ready to create that change in your family.
Create that change in the family. Auntie Mercy, there are some kids. If you hope there, if you am the problem, you are. My family mbadi kumpo. When you me there, howaba or there may excuse. When you me there, asemia working on you them intake. Number one, number one, kakano wabasa, kakano wakom, kakano. There training now. Oh, what the insunani pako no ye Christo ni mapa. Ebimpa no ye leader wa hampwa nature de he. But waka kra no waka 1,000. Dama adenya be dan na ya ye kakra. Because Aziz or hopa.
Some of friendly your hunter someone number. Oh yeah, times I will find your heart. That may sister can. Honestly, original there, that may pay them a bay. See, that may pay the wood bay ya. Or there at a son, there may pay there, you know. Me pay people who are never on Cassa, people who are never on Cassa. And so Bimba not and Chenza on a bed checking. As I never your anything. Okay, some baby ya no yen if you only be some common about what I am found country, but you be back on you kind of about. Yes, sir, as I won't banner. I bet no man I say, you been a better when child, no more I eat. So the year you are quite hand bahu. The warrior, me catch I be able hop out. I can no one tap, I can walk a channel and tap, when that's in. Offend your just heart, see one. I come when you out and sign out the take. They made their quack from one and they won't take it. Instead, come and then you go so you pay him out. And you pump a bill. Instead, the one,
that's a different one was say. That's a different one I was saying. What your be a question, Bia?
Mama, question. There be me call saloon. Obi dini baba. Hairdresser ye display in your makakra or Tony Adi. Above didn't sack away, nor didn't sack away, nor didn't sack away, no more yes stop, no more yes stop, now collided didn't sack. Me say, na afe me home me. Now sister, the money I can draw Mufiana. Akola no nam had in sack carry a senior men I say. Ain't it Nikiti no? Obama go and uncle Comumi Nua. On yes, I didn't be. Because you see, the Bible says this that akola na so den or ya later or ya ni mami enum guasio. Because when you, I'm sorry about those of you who are not fluent in Twi, but I'm saying that such a child is a source of disgrace to the mother. They don't say it's a disgrace to the father. Coincidentally, in the Bible, such a child is a disgrace to the mother. They shouldn't be surprised. My mom was such a firm disciplinarian. Me worry ye kra me mama ba besra me a na me ami ye me fie inspection ahwe say wo ye okay ansa waba. Much later, a lawyer came before me. Na me kasa no asre. Yes, my lady, no asre. When later I went into chambers, Oba said, my lady, you are just like your mother. Your mother taught me. Because how can it be say abofra wedi 6, 8, 10 want to me money chemso? How is it possible? Sakola wedi 10, even 15, 16 kra. What 10 kra so bebo na sum sisi e. I want to me nya na twen mo oje won semansa. We are not helping them. And also, there's something I've noticed. In today's generation, somehow we have let creep in this fallacy that oya DNA no bika, not just a nipano or time. That's what we have started letting people think. So one day I was watching this video and somebody was saying, if you love the person, then you must accept. No. The Bible says that the Lord chastises those that he loves. Now, in the same way that the Lord chastises those that he loves, if you are a parent who genuinely love your child, you must reproach the child. Na se nyamitia di odono dia. Na wo obi a wawo ba na yeden na waye wadwen se ontia wo ba. It is wrong for you to think so we are ade no obi kan na chese nipa ne mpewasem. It's not like that. So please, let's get that. Sister get it to me from me sister if you are done no go up of fin pulpit in the You understand what I mean? But we should not let it look like obiya DNA now can not. And so as parents also, we shouldn't let our children think say we are DNA. This thing about say teacher me aboba. Me doc, I'm surprised at what you are saying. No, because me ba no go school kra na ebro na o ma meka obeje double ofie. O mekampo. Doc,
I wanted to add something. Currently with our educational system, there's a shift. When all of us here, when we were in school, there were things we were not good at, but currently now we are good at it. Yeah. Yes, okay. So psychologically, it looks like caning a child because he can't do homework does not really make sense.
Not that he couldn't do it, but he did not do it.
Oh, I'm coming. 90% of the inventors all over the world, those that invented light, whatever, were all school dropouts, or let's say were driven out of school. They didn't sit in class till they finish, but they were able to come out with things. So currently, I'm talking about the current educational system worldwide. We think that stress of getting the child did not do it. We believe that they have reasons why they did not do it. We need to respect the right of the child.
Our right. The right.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't tell me anything. That's what I'm saying. That educational system. When we come to the house, we are talking about Christian parenting, right? That's why I was quoting scripture by saying that train up a child the way the child should grow. But I'm talking about the educational system. It's not in the Bible. The educational system says that, as we can all witness, some of us were not good at mathematics. Now we are selling. We are better when we're in classroom. And there's been events of people who couldn't make it. In fact, they were, yes, they couldn't do it. SHA couldn't do it. University couldn't do it. They are better off. So they think that we are putting too much pressure on the children. I'm talking about education system, so hold your. And then also, you can tell that currently there's so much pressure. The children wake up early, some come home late. It's not like previously. Previously, house is not far from school. But now, house is far from school. So because of that, some of them will leave very early, they will come very late, which is not helping the children. They come to school, you can tell that they're already exhausted. So from class 3 to JHS 1, they have to go through this stress. Now we are doing weekend classes for children, Sunday classes for children because they are going to write BEC. Okay, so because of some of these things, they feel that we shouldn't stress the children. Whether you like it or not, all of us here know that Jesus Christ is coming, isn't it? Don't you know that Jesus Christ is coming? Oh, not that. We know that Jesus Christ is coming, but when we leave here, we don't do what we have to do to wait for the coming of Christ. But we know Jesus Christ is coming. We'll come next Sunday, they'll tell us Jesus Christ is coming. Every time, but in our subconscious mind, we know Jesus Christ is coming, isn't it? So psychologically, we have the information. So when you get to the point where that information must be used, it will come, then you start using it. I'm talking about educational system. I'm not talking about
educational system.
You're
talking about educational system.
But when we bring it to the home, it's a different ballgame because you need to define how you want to see your family. That one, you can't say you want to let the child jump about anyhow. I went to, there's a family, a doctor friend of mine, Kolebu, he wants us to come and train the children, 3 children. And when I went to that, they were just jumping around everywhere. And I'm like, I thought I was in a classroom. So I was like, look, if you don't take that, I'll punish all of you. When I left, the guy didn't call me again. Because for me, where I'm coming, you can't do this in our house. You just can't do that. Jumping, when there's a visitor, you don't know me, I just came for the first time. I want to view the house. A teacher will be coming to come and teach in your place. And they're just, and then the man is like, that's my children there. These children, they'll kill me. And, yes. So all that we are saying is that the parents should know how they want to, only if they were able to stay enough to learn from their parents. But if not, now information is everywhere. I have a scripture that I want to read. It says that you can find it on
So is there any question?
Proverbs 15:20. It says that a wise son makes a father glad, but a foolish man despises his mother. Okay. A wise son. There's no wise son. We make wise children. There's no wise son. And the application of wisdom defines, the application of knowledge defines wisdom. When you act, then we will be able to tell that this man is a wise man. Okay, based on the information you have. So if you act, and by looking at your actions, it's not good, it's not wisdom. Okay, a wise son, there's no wise son. Somebody must make that wise son.
Okay.
So if that person is not seeking knowledge so that they can apply it to bring wisdom, we can't have wise sons.
So you see, when we're talking in today's modern world, you can see that parents are busy. They are busy. When they send their kids to the school, they will pick the child at probably around 4. They come home. So they are not, training the child the way they should. They leave them. So what can you say about it? Because as I'm Krano, said I would jump in a few more jump.
I have something to say on that one. It's funny though, but we can manage it. When you check from certain generation, you realize that our forefathers built houses. Our fathers did not build. Because they have a place to sleep. And some of them are still living in a house, and the children are grown. So you see, they don't have anywhere to go, so they have to find a way of building their own houses. I think some way, somehow, because 90% of the major problem on parents now has to do with rent and other things. Rent is the first thing, because rent is expensive. I know a friend in a room somewhere, and 700. Landlord is taking 1,000 Ghana. Yeah, two bedrooms. He says 700. He says 1,000 cedis straight. So because of that, this has created a lot of pressure for parents. The money is not enough. The money is not enough. And say Ghana engagement back. Previously they do one job, they are okay, isn't it? The first engagement back. She engagement back. But me no crown swing. On your midnight probably so because of this, that's how come parents can previously even Methodist Church, Boys Brigade, we have children coming for Boys Brigade, Girls Brigade, Girls Fellowship. Now they don't come. They are going to, they say education. So they have to go for classes on weekend. They close late. They can't make it to church. They were there. We had Scouts, we had Red Cross, we had all these things. And you can see children participating. But now it's not there. Why? Because we are looking for money, cash. Yeah.
But as parents, you need to make a certain conscious choice that a new money be for instance, I started out as a lawyer, but when we got married, I said I don't want to do private practice because private practice no because it comes with having to take instructions from people, whereas semi-year public service now mekwa adwuma ebebo for no na mapon inti me man pon a metimi apon. That was the conscious choice I made. But with that choice came the stark realization, say, sika pa die, mi nyebi. Because private practice, no sika, wom, ma umano, I am not sure. But we agreed, to say, if in the time, na ebeye juma. Enti onu ko ye juma gidigidi peskaba, na menso. But it would not ever happen, say, Obeka say, would the sorry if you ati or capre because we are in. So that is the choices you would have to make. Because I have also seen, say, nipa timidi sikechia ubesheno. Now, Bana say,
no, Pascal, no,
Nasika and Makolana say, I know men come and quechiri. Mumiensha laboni, cantonments. Omo anom we japadie pa wa ha mo yankwara na mo yankwara no omo ane we japadie pa wa ha no. How many of those families have been able to sustain their money? Esan se na wofo no pe djuma no mo kwa abrochire no mo tu kwanti bebre nya kwanya nsheda nhwe omo ma no. They are selling off the properties. On the other hand, se wutumi balance. So let's make a conscious effort to have time for our children. There are certain things I insist on. Eduane ayeto. I don't agree. Pizza is fine. But na yeto eduane
Wacha magi sort ayemuma.
Wacha no said na but that's the thing. You need to make your choices as a mother. Na nsenya COVID ba ye. Ankrofo etena afie hwe omumei. Almost started ton shoe online. Ebinu mo hono ma bank no wo man kopa adwuma ni biomo. Watena se, wahwe ne ma. And the children are doing okay. If se kwala ne susua, wo de ne ko preschool, obebo wa akolati mi bo wa 6 months. Na bofra da bo wa wenya cold. Wo mo de frede. I mean, we need to make some choices.
We need to make some choices. Yes, I see somebody. Well, okay. Yes, sir. Please talk.
Good evening.
Blessed Bible class.
Nyerado agwagbe. Achomi ga mate few. Me to ma bi saneko. Ni sane ma bi be pie wona gbeke bi kome na ame ehia. Me bi cry. No onu pai e bole ame. Ni onu pai gbasane. Awie mo wuji. No bana gbeke can I will be contribute.
Wow.
I can try to gbeke he sai enache. Such became be te oba manage ameten. The second question. Auntie, if you are my leader. Yeah, you touch on a very interesting subject. That is reading. I mean, encouraging children to read in the house. And you also went ahead to say it's a skill. Yes, reading is a skill that needs to be developed and nurtured. You develop it and nurture it like you plant a flower and water it. So it grows. How do you manage that? How do you encourage reading? Because the key word here is a skill. My last question or contribution. But in that way, I was trained by a very strict grandmother. My parents, were working with the government institution. My father was an agriculturist and my mother was a nurse. So they were being transferred, to various places. So it was affecting our education. So I have to stay with my grandparents. Grandparents said they were very, very strict. Very, very, very strict. And it affected me a lot. Even in the neighborhood, we were called, please don't find it. Please don't find it. I became so timid that even I have an auntie who will be 90 years 1st December. Anytime, please don't find it. Please don't find it. I became very timid. And it has affected me up to now. There's something Auntie Efia knows that I've not done. And if I tell you, I even feel shy saying it here. It has affected me. And that's the reason why, I've not, done that. Thank you. But she knows it. So sometimes, if there's too much discipline in the house too, it also, affects you.
So we have to balance it.
I wanted to talk about the conversation that Guy was talking about. In fact, it's not just the conversations. It's even the TV. When the children are growing up, they should know say movie be a 13 plus or say then. Omo count. Enti wa ye the movie ni beto on na hu 13 plus na. Enye me na meka kire o say sorry every day mo. Wa wunim sesa Netflix movie ya 13 plus da so yi. Nya na abeka. Enye me na meka. Wa hu age group na ehwe movie na. No sorry Sarah so na nkomo no 13 plus. I say wow sorry call you don't have to be told. Wherever. But the reading, I would encourage it. Every month or two, mibusa. So what are you reading? And then cry school now be on Things Fall Apart. Make a change and nephew say Things Fall Apart. There's an African classic. You must read it. But Vidya, Anase Blue Nights. We go there every so often. Then we will go and they select the books that they are interested in. Me flip ya shema say quality no enya fe ne ebe kire omo. Then they can buy whatever. And they read and they take fiction to school every time. When they are about to vacate, same as when I'm about to go on leave, I go and select books. Na ye ready. And then sometimes also we we discuss like a book club, that kind of thing. Especially for those books, the movie abano. Then they are really very interested. Book where in the movie about, let's read it. Oh, the book does better justice to it than the movie or something like that. But I don't encourage too much TV. I don't. And the reading also helps the language. If you will notice, people are having serious problems with spelling structure. Me say me mark law school for exams. I na miti brofu boniki kamitiri boom. Spelling, and grammar. You never get it from watching. You get it from the letters. Spelling. It's a little expensive these days. Books are but it's okay. If you say, and then you have a library, and then once in a while I exchange with my friends. So that's the thing. On the timidity, it's a fine balance, I think. I think that a woman, but they should, and then also I encourage my children to get close to others. Because if you are not me, ti obi to say chocho. Omu to me, auntie chocho, omu to me nene yes man. Na, my young cousin, omu to me nene yes man. Enti ebia and I'm not so. But you make sure that those other places now omu bon komono so no, hono, ye. But your children can also relate to others, and that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, Doc, you wanted to say something?
Yes. First one is the children interrupting. It goes back again to the same topic that says that we need to define the position of the child. If adults meet, children are not part, they are not supposed to be part of it. So, like we've been saying, if you don't define the position of a child, you just be all over the place, and it will be very difficult for you to control the child. So the responsibility is on us, parents, to know where to place them. That is the first one. The second one has to do with the reading. The reading is good, because when your child reads, not only does the child get to benefit from the things that our mother just said, but his understanding, he becomes more exposed to information, because most of the things are in the books. Most of the things, they are in the books. So the more they read, the more they gain. That's why I'm saying that if you're a parent, well, we have different class of parents, because some of us don't like reading. So even the Bible to read is a problem. So even if your child is not reading, it's not a problem. But a parent that likes reading will obviously help the child to read. But if you're a parent here and don't like reading, start with the Bible. Start with the Bible. Make sure you're reading the Bible every day. Even one verse a day, just try. It also helps you to learn how to read a guy and a tree, it's good. English is not our language, but because of, so we have, so we are using it for now.
Like
but,
you're supposed to speak down.
Yes, so, anyway.
Auntie Mercy.
No, I'm not done. So, on that section, it is good. America, Europe, they are moving away from reading to listening. They believe that when you listen, it goes into your subconscious mind. It stays there. It's faster than reading. That's where they are now. And so they are moving it down to us. We know e-books came, e-audios are now in. So they've converted all their books into audio. So you just put it in your car whilst you're driving and listening. It's easier. That's what they are saying. So they are now moving away from reading. The other thing is that they are also moving away from writing. Yes, so they are. Yeah, exactly. Yes, so dictation, there's a tool, ICT, there's a tool in Google. Google has a, so Google has a tool called dictation. But not all the languages, they are still working on it. So as you are speaking, then the system will be writing. It will be writing for you. So they are moving away from writing as well. But the problem is that if you've not learned to read, what are you going to say? You see, if you have not learned to read, if you don't learn to write, to know how to spell, if the system is spelling, how are you going to know? You understand? So, whichever way, you still have to learn to read. So, as for reading, it's good. But if you are exposing your children to reading, it means that you have to be reading. Because by the time he's done with the book, the way he'll be behaving, if you are not informed, you have problems. So if you're encouraging your child to read, you also have to read. And then the last one, I have an information on that one. It says, strict parents, being strict on your child. You know that in Africa, I don't know whether blacks, that's how we like it. When they give us our freedom, we don't like.
No, we don't know how to manage freedom.
Maybe, okay, so we don't know how to manage our freedom. So we like it when they are on us, But we need to balance it. If you're a parent and you want to be strict on your child, you need to balance it. It takes us back to the precepts you put into your house. It's not hey to the end. Even if the child is doing something nice, you can't encourage the child, you can't motivate the child. She said she buys things for the children to ensure that, when they, okay, do this, I'll get this for you. And then she fulfills her promise. It gets the children to know that they have to work for something. It's also very good. It helps the children to know that in life, you have to work for something. Nothing comes just like that. Some of us think things must happen to us. There's a story I heard recently. A man, he was very rich. In fact, before he died, the children, they've sold half of his properties. Now he's gone. And they don't even know what to do with their life now. They have only one room to sell. When they finish that room, they will sleep on the street. What happened was that he had the money, but he did not train them. See, he had the money, but he did not train them. So this program is good. If you've not had the opportunity to be in a program like this, maybe this is your first time of hearing some of these things. As we've been saying, you have to make the conscious effort. Nobody can do that for you. You must make the conscious effort and say that this is what I want and I'll pursue it.
This is what I want and I'll pursue it. I can remember when we started our family, I was very strict because I was raised up from a very strict family. So I was very strict on them because I want the right thing to be done. But it got to a time, I realized that no, I'm being too strict. I have to, relax small. So I gave them that space.
Too much of everything is bad.
Yes. So I realized that it's working. So I don't know. It's working, but still our feet on the ground. Mama, so one of the days when we are talking, we were, but then I was in Cape Coast, and then we were in the family house. Your parents and all, she said they are on you. Now strict because I'm the slave trade, I enter one into into how I drink panty. Up to now, there are certain things I don't relate at all. So when you see me, sometimes they said you are difficult, but I think it helped. Auntie Mercy, the Titan and then Isha, but Abba's not call wrong. Now, but no, what they say, then we run it up.
So, it's abofraba ya bwana I know your mistake that's what I mean if you ni aunt and now be a fear tenant be able to my check them more year no year inside my people baba that this time abofra nka ya bibi now aunt and a tenant ka check abofra my me ba enya asam one small one oka the phone saka kan into abofra ya bwana na biara yezin oration Okoto confirm because me kaka na my meba me yansam. Nti nka no na edom what's nipa ko na owo. Na edom no what titi. Nti say ije wo be the one kote na betete wo ba you are in trouble. So nti wo dem ma ho kwan na what titi ba ma me ka da me abofra no. Na me o man tinchen. Say nya bibi yinya wo na ezeto wa. No boss say wa I want to start to work. No, I started to kasa. Or them yezin. So me boy man make a fight. Boy make a man. Yeah, man. You have no right to answer. Now I should have been seen. Machine. Oh yeah, me here be alka. No, my yezin. Then there about fraba. As in why impulse on ye. Open zako be some. Just say, hey, done a dam. No, I done a dam. I found out in myself, so I'm ready for the answers one more. And see, we need prayer. Now, but kakra. Oh, yeah, house help you with you. I tell so, yeah, I said, I'm not Markma. So, I am there. Be in there. In the man, say, Messi, calm down. Calm down, I'm easy. It's my imagination. Me, I am young. Me from the assembly woman. Bra, 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 bra. Oh, me doffo, bra, bra, bra. Me started me, the assassin. Zama in Chafes and oil make can, but my castle told 2 hours open. If you will fear her, oh, who be all say, or best so for best say 2-3 hours in Harbor Frano. To me started a million and thou made off for assembly woman, years and pants, assembly woman, dumb, if it's on my uncle. Are you bibia, or you be financing? Even that's why you want to make a pia, man, Pocha Matsi. It's when they'll say change in her life. Then with there, it was on me and some hard double fan because Miss Year can my mini be. If you fear and see, or your master's the mission there, the slow originate that chain, not a boy if you mammy.
That chose our boy face. So we will continue. It's a broad one. Okay, I have only 2 minutes. Okay.
Yo, 24 Yadamasi Bebre. Now, Abrebiano, our four yana, yetin ye masse, omobitimi, enyini, abeye, and penipa. Nansana mekama semano, me person mean can be biwaha. Proverbs 6, verse 9 to 11. What say? Obeda akosi daben okwadwofo ebrebe na obesori afiri wonemu ena kakra ntoko kakra nsa amapromada kakra eno na wohia ebeto se okwamukani na wo kire ebeye se ochem kurafo abrebia no mothers sometimes ebia modwuma sem ene adintino ya na mokofa maid nim ni ade ebetena monchen na even me ma omo ye manko a mikuta mama akoma 7
Oh, ayaze mo
enti as a father sebe metu kwan kakra na mahunu se de abrabo sitie no ema ne de excuse me to say ya na omu hunu de ewo ya nimu a wobekọ ayeden akoto na sometimes na bia father sorry na se ohunu se ade we sei akwala wo fa so na se obenyina duru ba bia ewo sa wo nko awode wo ho no na ayeden ama wo excuse me to say a girl from 8 years from 5 years 8 years to 13 years 14 years okodware na run panties a baby a bathroom ho no a no agya no ho na maame aka kire maid say akwala no panties na egu ho no wo onkofa eti akwala no panties gu from no huni. Look at this. If we say sometimes na akwala no nyini na wono susu abede ne ho na sa atami a wo hunu say wo maame na na wo papa ne ntimi nkyira akwala ne se ade wei a wo ye no enye wadidi awie no de chansi na akosi ho na yafre maid no wa yeden no wa behuhurum enti sese no wankasa no aye wo ba aye wo property no entete ye ben na wo de ma no. Excuse me to say yani Africa kra ebi wo hanu mansem bi timi ba yanim wo hwɛ sɛ de asɛm no esitia na wohwɛ a enhwɛ wo ka kyerɛ maame ne sɛ ebia asɛm we sei maame ankoyi a wobɛka sɛ wo na wobɛkyerɛ me sɛ de me ntete me ba na ama nneɛma no yɛ bibire me pacho bibi te sɛ me wɔ madwuma me fa workers ɛna me no wɔ mo yɛ den ɛyɛ adwuma uhunu obi a wobɛfa ne sɛ wo ne yɛ adwuma no a na uhunu na kwadworɔ ɛna hɔ ɛne deɛ ɛwɔ mu a kyɛ sɛ utimi hunu sɛ adwuma ni hɔ nyɛ sɛ adwuma na ɛnyɛ den ɛni hɔ but enipa na wɔbɛyɛ adwuma ne suban ne na attitude ɛne ne training na wɔnya na ofie no kyɛ sɛ wode ne yɛ hwe yɛ den ɛnyɛ yie utimi busa ho sɛ akwara we na bra bombo kura no ɛkɔsɛn because wo adwuma wura bia ni hɔ no ma even only vision adwuma bia wura bia wɔ vision a ohunu sɛ saa nipa we sei sɛ wansesa na bra bɔ nyɛ den enwie ne yie manuasi
yo enti ye de besi ha ye beto aso that's next month ye beto aso enti no this program is streaming online, and those who are behind it are Enes Yeboah, Enoch Tetekwaku, and then the sound is Joseph Kweno, and then the camera is Augustina Apia. The designer for the flyers, Johnson Kwaku. I'm so grateful to the Dagadu Media team. They've really done well since we started. They've been with us and all up until today. We are grateful to you all. God bless you. Upon that, I'm also grateful to my panelists. They've really done well. Mama Justice Efia, you've always been here. Whenever we call on you, you come. Even you leave your busy schedules and you come and join us and you educate us almost all the time. We are so grateful to you. Justice Efia, Pacha Yadaso, Amia Masi Pepebi, or Mamma Hoya Fankasa, Timid Swankasa. And our doctor, yes, today is your first time, but you have really proved to us that, yes, we wouldn't make you so. He came here very early and he saw your patient. He stood and then he waited for us to start the whole program up until this time. We are grateful to you. God bless you. And Mama, hey, Ohima, Nifio Kwan worry, Bahan Sem, but Nancy, what church has some, my church has some numu, maybe Biara Kodo, Mama Yadasati, Yamisha Bebre, Yamisha Monswa, Mose Mumbra, Mobile Maya, you've really done well. Papa, today, oh, clap for yourselves. I'm proud of you. Yeah. Thank you very much. We are not done yet. We'll continue next month. Yeah, second Friday. We'll continue with this same topic. I hope to see you again. So till then, bye-bye.